There comes a moment in life when you realize that the person you've been holding on to is the very reason you feel stuck. Not because they were weak, but because they were built for a different chapter, a chapter that has already ended. Growth doesn't politely ask for permission, it demands release. And the truth is, you cannot carry your old fears, old habits, and old identity into a life that requires a completely new version of you. Something within you already knows this. That quiet discomfort you feel. It's not confusion, it's transformation knocking. You're not losing yourself, you're being asked to let go of who you no longer need to be. And maybe that's what makes it so difficult, because letting go doesn't just mean change, it feels like losing a part of yourself. The familiar version of you once felt like home, even if it was limiting. But growth often feels uncomfortable before it feels right. You have to trust that what you're becoming is worth what you're leaving behind. Because the life waiting for you cannot begin until the old you finally lets go. Letting go sounds simple, but in reality, it feels like stepping into the unknown without any guarantee of what's waiting on the other side. The mind clings to what it knows, even if it hurts, because familiarity feels safer than uncertainty, and that's exactly where most people get stuck, not because they can't grow, but because they're afraid of what growth will take from them. You begin to question everything. What if you lose yourself? What if you regret it? What if you're not strong enough to become who you're meant to be? But these thoughts don't come from weakness, they come from standing at the edge of transformation. The old version of you will resist, it will try to pull you back into comfort, into habits that feel safe but no longer serve you, and for a moment, you might even believe it, you might feel like staying the same is easier than becoming something new. But deep down, you already know the truth, staying the same is what's truly costing you, because every time you ignore that inner voice, every time you choose comfort over growth, a part of you feels heavier, not because you failed, but because you denied your own evolution. And maybe that's the real fear, not change, but the regret of never changing at all, which is why letting go will always feel uncomfortable, uncertain, and even painful at times, but it is also the only path that leads you closer to who you are truly meant to become. Comfort can be deceptive, it makes you believe that staying where you are is safe, even when it slowly drains your spirit. You convince yourself that this is enough, that maybe this is all life has to offer, but deep down there's always a quiet voice whispering that you are meant for more. The problem is, comfort doesn't challenge you, it doesn't push you, it doesn't force you to evolve, it keeps you still while everything within you is meant to expand. And over time, that stillness starts to feel like suffocation. You begin to notice the gap between who you are and who you could become, and that gap creates a silent tension inside you. The life you want exists beyond this illusion of comfort, but reaching it requires you to walk away from what feels easy and familiar. Because the truth is, comfort is not always peace, sometimes it's just fear wearing a disguise, holding you back from stepping into your real potential. There comes a moment, quiet, almost unnoticeable, when something inside you starts to shift. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it's real. You start seeing things differently, feeling things more deeply, questioning things you once accepted without thought. The same life that once felt normal now feels limiting, and the version of you that once felt complete now feels incomplete. This is the turning point, the moment where your awareness expands and you can no longer go back to who you used to be. It might feel confusing, even overwhelming, because change doesn't always arrive with clarity, sometimes it arrives with chaos. But within that chaos, something powerful is happening, you are waking up. And once that awakening begins, there is no undoing it. You can try to ignore it, you can try to delay it, but you cannot erase it. Because this is the moment your old self starts fading, and your true self quietly begins to rise. Becoming is not a gentle process, it is uncomfortable, messy, and often painful in ways you didn't expect. You don't just gain a new version of yourself, you grieve the one you're leaving behind. There are parts of you that once felt like home, habits that once gave you comfort, and identities that once defined you, and letting them go feels like losing something real. This is the part no one talks about, the quiet ache of transformation, where you feel stuck between who you were and who you're becoming. It's a space filled with uncertainty, where nothing feels stable and everything feels unfamiliar. But this pain is not a sign that something is wrong, it's proof that something is changing. Growth will stretch you, it will test you, it will ask more from you than you think you can give, but within that discomfort, something stronger is being built. Because the life you're stepping into requires a version of you that is willing to rise through the pain, not run from it. One of the hardest parts of transformation is learning to trust what you cannot control. You want answers, clarity, certainty, but growth rarely gives you those things up front. Instead, it asks you to move forward without knowing exactly how everything will unfold. And that's where the real challenge begins, letting go of control while still choosing to believe that something greater is guiding you. Your mind will try to make sense of everything, it will search for guarantees, but this journey doesn't come with a clear map. It comes with moments of doubt, moments of hesitation, and moments where you feel like you're losing your way. But what if you're not lost? What if this uncertainty is actually part of the path? Every step you take, even the ones that feel unclear, is shaping you into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more aligned with the life you truly want. Trust is not about having all the answers, it's about continuing to move forward even when you don't. There comes a point where things that once felt right, no longer feel the same. The places, the people, the habits, everything that once brought you comfort starts to feel distant, almost unfamiliar. And it's confusing, because nothing on the outside may have changed, yet everything inside you has. You try to hold on to it, to recreate the feeling it once gave you, but it doesn't work anymore. This is what growth looks like, not always gaining something new, but realizing that what once fit you, no longer does. And that realization can feel lonely. You may feel disconnected, like you don't belong where you used to, but haven't yet found where you truly do. But this in-between space is not a mistake, it's a transition. It's life gently showing you that you are evolving beyond your past. And even though it feels uncertain, it's necessary. Because you cannot step into a new life while trying to stay attached to an old one that no longer aligns with who you are becoming. There was a time when someone stood exactly where you are now, holding on to a version of life that felt safe, but no longer felt right. Every day felt the same, every step felt heavy, yet the fear of leaving was stronger than the pain of staying. They told themselves, maybe this is just how life is, and for a while, they believed it. But deep inside, there was a quiet voice that refused to stay silent. It kept whispering that there was more peace, more purpose, more truth waiting beyond the fear. One day, without having all the answers, they made a choice, not a perfect one, not a fearless one, but an honest one. They chose to let go. And at first, it felt like everything was falling apart. The uncertainty was overwhelming, the silence was loud, and the comfort they once had was gone. But slowly, something began to shift. The same space that once felt empty started to feel open. The fear that once felt heavy started to feel lighter. And step by step, they began to discover a version of themselves they had never met before, stronger, freer, and more alive. And the truth is, that person is not someone else. It's the version of you that's waiting on the other side of your fear. At some point, you stop resisting, not because everything suddenly becomes easy, but because you finally understand that resistance is what's been holding you back. You begin to accept the changes, even the uncomfortable ones, and slowly, you start stepping into a new version of yourself. It doesn't happen overnight, it happens in small, quiet moments, the way you think, the way you respond, the way you see yourself. You start choosing growth over comfort, truth over illusion, and peace over temporary satisfaction. And with every choice, you become a little more aligned with who you were always meant to be. The fear doesn't completely disappear, but it no longer controls you. Instead, it becomes something you move through, not something that stops you. This is where your power begins to return, not from becoming someone new, but from finally becoming who you truly are beneath everything you had to let go of. And then, one day, it all starts to make sense, not in a loud, dramatic way, but in a quiet, peaceful realization. You look back at everything you went through, the confusion, the pain, the letting go, and you understand why it had to happen. The life you once dreamed of no longer feels distant, it feels real, because you've become the person who can live it. There is a calmness within you now, a strength that doesn't need to prove itself, a clarity that doesn't need constant validation. You no longer chase what isn't meant for you, and you no longer hold on to what you've outgrown. Instead, you move forward with a sense of trust, trusting yourself, trusting the process, trusting the journey that shaped you. And in that moment, you realize something powerful: the life you were searching for was never ahead of you, it was always waiting for you to become ready.